get started in child's pose. Bring your forehead down to your mat, sit your hips back by your heels, and everything else you do is completely up to you. Your knees can be out as wide as you need to give your upper body a little bit more space, or bring them together for a little bit more support. Hands can be out long in front of you with your palms face down, back by your hips, and really any combination of these versions of child's pose is yours to take. As you settle into whatever child's pose feels most comfortable for you, whenever you're watching this, start to bring your awareness to your breathing. With everything that's going on in the world right now, you always have the opportunity to come back to your breath, to ground and center yourself. Start to notice all of your inhales, all of your exhales. Notice if your breath has a kind of texture or temperature to it, whatever that means for you. See if you can start to lengthen your inhales and your exhales, making your inhales a little more deep and full, your exhales a little more complete. This child's pose is the starting pose for us here, but you can always return to it anytime you feel like you need to take a step back or take a quick break, and then restart your practice whenever you feel ready. We'll also take several expressive collective breaths throughout class. These are a great way to release heat or tension, and you can do them anytime throughout your practice, or really anytime throughout the day, anytime you need to just take a step back from what's going on. We'll take one of those right now, so wherever you are, exhale all of your air. Inhale, balloon your lungs, expand your ribcage. And exhale with an H-A. Take one more, continue that exhale, get really, really empty. Inhale, take a deep, full breath. And exhale, H-M. Slowly start to bring some movement to your child's pose. Maybe roll your forehead around or wiggle your fingers. You can start to stretch your arms forward, maybe roll your shoulders around. Let that motion travel down your spine to your hips. If any places feel a little bit sticky or tight, you can send your breath there. Maybe feel free to spend a moment or two wherever you are. If your hands aren't already reached out in front of you, begin to crawl them towards the short edge of your mat. Spread your fingers really wide and bring your hands about shoulder width apart. That could be almost with your pinkies coming off the edge of the mat. On an inhale, shift your weight forward into a tabletop, stacking shoulders over your wrists. Hips over knees, draw your belly up and in. Try to create a really flat spine. Bring your gaze just in front of your index fingers to lengthen the sides of your neck. And press down into the tops of both feet to kind of ground yourself and stay really rooted into the earth. Inhale to lift your head, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, draw your shoulder blades together, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, or draw your belly up and in, cat. Inhale, cow pose, lift head, lift tailbone. Exhale, cat, round your spine, try to press it up as close to the ceiling as you can. And continue moving through these cat-cow tilts, all at the pace of your own breath. You can move as fast or as slow as your breath is allowing. You might even try to get the movement to match the length of each breath. So that could mean reaching the top of cow pose, or reaching cow pose at the top of your inhale, and cat pose at the bottom of your exhale. And if it feels good, you can take some free movement. Maybe start by rolling your hips around or shifting into one side and then the other, maybe rolling your head around, loosening up your neck. Really anything that feels good to do. You can do it. Start to come back to stillness. Draw your belly up and in. Engage your core. Inhale, reach your right hand forward. Send your left leg back, spinal balancing. Really press into the top of your right foot. Press your left hand into the mat and lift out of your left shoulder. Tuck your chin just a little bit more. Go for length with your back foot. You can point or flex your back toes. You don't have to, well, you can pick one, but commit to it. Take one more inhale to reach long. Exhale, come down to all fours. Inhale, this time send your left hand forward, right leg back. If you're flexing your right foot, feel for pressing through your right heel, almost as if you could touch whatever wall is behind you. If you're pointing your toes, really get into that extension with your right foot. Lift your left hand up in line with your left shoulder. Take one more inhale, reach long. Exhale, all fours. Continue moving through a few more cat-cow tilts, all on your own breath. And whatever movement that you want to try out, you totally can. Slowly return to stillness. On your next inhale, curl your toes underneath you. Send your hips up and back for your first downward dog. And keep that same idea of free movement in this first down dog. You can pedal out your knees, lift your hips up high, maybe roll your hips around, maybe lift an arm, lift a leg, maybe even shift your weight forward into a high plank or top of a push-up. It's a great way to measure out kind of the ideal distance between your hands and feet. Slowly return to stillness. We'll clean up the alignment just a little bit. Glance forward at your hands, bring them about shoulder width apart, maybe even a little bit wider. Spread your fingers really, really wide. Really stretch out the webbing between each finger. And press down strongly, especially through the thumb and index finger side of your hands. Straighten into your arms without walking out your elbows. Feel for drawing your shoulder blades down your back and wrapping your armpits towards each other so your shoulder blades can separate, your back can broaden. Glance back at your feet, bring them about hips width apart with your heels disappearing behind your toes. It's okay if your heels don't reach the ground. That's not really the overall intention. It's more the direction of movement we're going towards. Inhale to lift your right leg up halfway. So no higher than your right hip. Roll your right hip down just a little bit and go for extension first. Keeping your hips where they are. Inhale, lift your leg a little bit higher. Exhale, bend your right knee, roll your right hip open, stacking it over your left, or just going for a full upside down dog or stargazer, whatever you want to call it. Take whatever free movement feels good here. You can draw circles with your knee, maybe you roll your ankle around, just kind of play around with it. Take one more inhale, reach your right leg tall. Exhale, set it back down on the mat. Inhale, lift your left leg up just halfway this time. Press into your left hand, really send your left leg long behind you. And lift your leg just a little bit higher, bend your knee, roll your hip open, and take whatever free movement feels good on this side. You might try something similar, you might want to do something totally different. You're not bound by whatever you did on the other side. Take one more inhale, reach your left leg tall. Exhale, set it back down on the mat. Inhale, soften your knees, glance forward and take a walk up to the front of your mat. Bring your toes in line with your fingertips. And find your first forward fold. This pose can kind of sound like you're just trying to touch your toes, but it's more about getting your upper body to be really heavy. So you can bend your knees a whole lot here, maybe grab hold of opposite elbows, find a sway side to side. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, shake your head maybe, whatever that means for you. Maybe even interlace your fingers behind your head and give your upper body a little bit more weight. If you want a deeper shoulder stretch, you can also interlace your fingers behind your low back and let your hands hang overhead. Whatever option you choose, the goal here is just to feel really heavy. Glance down at your feet. Measure out about hips width distance between them. That's 2 fists side by side between your inner arches, maybe even a little bit wider. Inhale to press your palms into your shins or your thighs, straighten into your arms, and come for a half lift. Tuck your chin a little bit to lengthen the back of your neck. Draw your shoulders down your back. Draw your shoulder blades together. Think the same type of spine you have in cow pose. Take one more inhale, reach a little bit further. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Arms up overhead, mountain pose. And maybe for this first one, try closing your eyes. We stand up a whole lot throughout each day, but we're really not aware of what's going on. So with your eyes closed, notice all points of contact between you and your mat. Notice where your weight's distributed. Notice any places in your body that may feel a little bit of tension. A lot of times that can be the shoulders, so letting your shoulders, or the tops of your shoulders fall away from your ears can let your arms do a little bit less. You can also rotate your pinkies a little bit more towards each other to let your shoulders come down a little bit more. Feel for getting really rooted through both of your feet. Draw up on your kneecaps, engage your core, keep your foundation strong. Tuck your tailbone down towards the ground, engage your core to lift your front hip points up. If your eyes were closed, flutter them open. Take an inhale to look up, reach up, maybe take a slight back bend. And exhale, follow that all the way back down to your forward fold. Inhale for your half lift, realign your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to the top of the push-up and pause. We'll make this a little bit more dynamic. We'll set up for our flow, which is kind of the glue that holds all of our sequences together. With your shoulders stacked over your wrists, your heels going towards the back of the room. If this position doesn't feel sustainable or like you're really straining yourself, you always have the option of bringing your knees down for a little bit more support. Take an inhale to press your mat away, let your shoulder blades separate. Exhale, lower down just halfway, keep your elbows glued in towards your sides. Inhale, upward dog, press your chest forward and up, roll your shoulders down and together. Exhale, downward dog, curl your toes underneath you, send your hips up and back. These 4 postures are our flow. We're going to do them a whole lot for the next close to an hour. From now on, it'll be at the pace of your own breath. We'll go through that a little bit more swiftly now. Soften your knees, inhale, walk or hop forward, bring your toes in line with your fingertips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, this time rise up and past your mountain. Maybe take a slight back bend, maybe just reach up as high as you can go. And when your exhale arrives, follow that all the way back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop your feet back and travel through your flow. And once you do make it to down dog, wherever you are, take this sequence one more time on your own breath. Take this one breath, one movement. It's okay if you miss a step or forget the inhale or exhale cues. The main point here is just to move with your breathing and kind of not the other way around. So you can move as quickly or as slowly as your breath will allow you to. And once you've made it through one time, when we up in a down dog, there's never any rush, there's no deadline to get there. Everybody moves at their own pace. Once you are in down dog or wherever you are, if it's available, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, deep, full breath. Expand your rib cage. Exhale, HA. Inhale, send your right leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Swivel your left heel down to the mat. Feel for getting really rooted through both of your heels. As you're ready, inhale, rise up, warrior one. Stack your right knee over your right ankle. That might mean shifting your knee forward or back, just so you can see your right big toe just peeking out in front of your knee. Press strongly into the outer edge of your left foot. And use that to start to press your left hip forward as you coax your right hip back in space. You can almost imagine drawing your whole right thigh bone backwards so that it sets into your right hip joint. Let your shoulders settle down your back once again. Take an inhale to look up, reach up, maybe take a slight back bend. And exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, travel through your flow. Of course, we have to even that out. Inhale, send your left leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Staple your right heel down to the mat this time. And inhale, rise up, warrior one, second side. You might notice this feels a little bit different. And that's just because we use our bodies in totally different ways on either side. So you might want to try a slightly different stance. If it feels like your hips are really tight, you can try walking your left foot a little more to the left and angling your right toes a little bit more towards the front of your mat. Feel for stacking your shoulders over your hips. If it feels like you're leaning really far forwards or backwards, you can kind of guess where your body is in space without even looking at it. Take one more inhale to look up, reach out of your waist. Exhale, plant your hands down, step your left foot back, travel through your flow. And once you get to down dog, it is all yours. Take this sequence all on your own, one breath, one movement. Warrior one on the right and left, each side with a flow in between. Once again, you can move as fast or as slow as your breath is allowing you. You can also breathe as loudly as you want to. This is part of the class where you're going to start to build some heat and really get your breath moving along with your movement. So maybe take an X or a HA, hot, HM, or just sigh really loudly. That can feel really, really good, especially as we start to move into a more dynamic part of class. If you are in down dog, keep it active. If it's available to you, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, deep, full breath. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, lift your right leg up tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands and breathe your way into warrior one on this side. We won't be here for very long. Keep your right knee stacked over your right ankle. Take an inhale, lift out of your waist. Exhale, warrior two. Open up your shoulders and your hips towards the side of whatever room you're in. And it might be helpful to take a slightly longer stance here, or even change the orientation of your feet so that your right heel, your front heel, is in line with your back arch. Sit deep into your front knee. Notice if it wants to bend inwards. You can just press the inside of your right knee towards the outer edge of your right foot. Reach long or reach wide through your fingertips. Take one more inhale to reach out of your midline. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Step your right foot back, take your flow. Inhale, send your left leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Breathe your way into warrior one on this side. Take another inhale, lift tall. Exhale, warrior two. Left hand forward, right hand back. Lift your hands in line with your shoulders. Make whatever adjustments you need to your low body so that it feels comfortable. Feel for tucking your tailbone down slightly to lengthen your low back. Lift your hip points up towards your lowest ribs. And feel for reaching long through your fingertips. Take one more inhale, reach wide. Exhale, 2 hands down. Step your left foot back. Take your flow. And once you get to down dog, you guessed it, 1 breath, 1 movement. Take warrior 1 and warrior 2 on the right and left. They're kind of building on the sequence we did before. You might notice you're starting to work hard a little bit. You might notice your breathing getting a little, not labored, but a little bit louder. I can definitely hear you breathing. Don't be afraid, especially if you're by yourself. You can breathe as loudly as you want to. This is the 1 breath, 1 movement part of class. I like to call it the choose your own adventure part of class. You don't have to worry about all the alignment cues we just went through. You don't have to hold any pose for a particularly long time. You can just let your movement follow your breath. If you are back in down dog, really press out of your shoulders, press your palms into the ground. If it's available, one more time, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, deep, deep breath. Exhale, H-A. Soften your knees, take a trip up to the front of your mat. You can walk, hop, or float, however you choose to get there. Forward folds. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Really relax in this pose. It's a resting pose, so you can really get heavy here. Inhale for your half lift. Draw your shoulder blades together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sit your hips down and back. Reach your arms up overhead. And feel for sitting your weight more back than down, like you're about to sit into the world's most uncomfortable chair, or a chair that's somebody's about to pull out from underneath you. You can draw, or feel for drawing your knees back in space so that they stack over your, the insides of your feet. Let your shoulders relax down your back. Tuck your tailbone just a little bit to protect your low back. Take one more inhale, lift up through your heart. Exhale, release, forward fold. Bend deeply into your right knee, keeping your left leg as straight as you can. Place your right hand in between your big toes and inhale your left arm up overhead for a twist. If the ground feels a little far away, you can bend as much as you need to into your right knee, or tent up onto your fingertips, or grab anything you have available. Reach up through your left fingertips. If you want to stay here, you can stay in this twist. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can bend your left elbow, reach your left hand around your low back, going for a half bind. If you want to take it even further still, bring your right hand underneath your right thigh, reaching for opposite fingertips. This is just an option, something to try on. Wherever you are, inhale to twist. Exhale, let that go, forward fold. Maybe shake out your right leg a little bit. Shake out your left leg. Inhale, hips low, arms up, chair pose. You can get there by muscle memory, maybe find a lower or deeper chair pose than you just were in. If it feels like your shoulders are kind of hunching up near your ears, or you don't have the flexibility, you can also bring your hands a little bit lower in front of your face. And that'll also help as a counterbalance. Take one more inhale, sit 1 inch lower. Exhale, release, forward. This time, bend really deeply into your left knee. Place your left hand in between your big toes and inhale your right hand up overhead. Feel for stacking your right shoulder over your left. Your gaze can be out to the side, or you can bring it up towards your right hand and tuck your chin slightly. You can also feel for leaning your chest back a little bit. Option to stay here or go for the half bind, bringing your right hand around your low back. You can also go for the full line if that feels accessible and allows you to keep breathing. It's just an option, you don't have to do either one. Wherever you are, take an inhale, twist a little more. Exhale, release, forward fold. And just for good measure, we'll do one more chair pose. Inhale, hips low, arms up. Make it your best one of the day or of the class. Maybe that means finding the same one and just focusing on your breathing. You can also breathe kind of expressively here, maybe a flutter of your lips. Or a loud sigh. If you want to make it more challenging, peel your heels up off the ground, come onto the balls of your feet, or keep your feet or heels planted on the ground. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Forward fold, let that go. Shake it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Realign your spine after all that twisting. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop your feet back, take your flow. If it's available, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, deep, deep breath. Exhale, H-A. Inhale, send your right leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands and breathe your way into Warrior 2, right side. Once you are there, make whatever adjustments you need to your low body. Keep your foundation exactly where it is. Bring your gaze over your right hand. Flip your right palm up to face the ceiling. Inhale, reach your shoulders forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Reach your right hand up and just a little bit back. Bringing your left hand to rest on your left thigh or left shin. Just avoid putting any pressure on your left knee joint. It tends to be kind of a sensitive joint. You bring your gaze up to your right hand or the inside of your right elbow, or just look over to the side if your neck is giving you some trouble. Take one more inhale, lift out of your right hip bone. Exhale, plant your right hand down, step your right foot back, travel through a flow. Inhale, send your left leg tall. Exhale, step in between your hands. Breathe your way through Warrior 1. We'll meet in Warrior 2 on this side. Whatever adjustments you need, good adjustment. Flip your left palm up to face the ceiling. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach up, up, up. Just a tiny bit back, like you're going to high five the back wall. Feel for rolling your left pinky in towards your gaze. Let your left shoulder fall away from your chin. You can take the same hand placement or try something different on this side. Wherever you are, remember to recommit to your lunge. So if your upper body starts to lean back, your lower body may want to follow suit. Take one more inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, bring 2 hands down, step your left foot back, and take your flow. Once you get to down dog, this is our final one breath, one movement of class. Take Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and Reverse Warrior. All of the flow in between. If you want to throw a side plank in there or just leave it out, you totally can. All of these are options. In fact, everything we say is simply a suggestion of movement. We do a lot of alignment cues, but you really could take the entire class just in child's pose. And as long as you are breathing and focusing on your breathing, you're still doing yoga. As you move through this one breath, one movement sequence, whether you've done it once or 1,000 times, you can try closing your eyes, maybe bringing your focus more internal. Wherever you are, exhale, press out all of your air. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, side out. Inhale, send your right leg tall. Exhale, step in between your hands, swivel your left heel down to the ground and just head up onto your fingertips for a moment. Feel for squaring your hips off towards the front edge of your mat. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, power lunge. Bring your hands by your side with your palms face down. Feel for drawing your pinkies close to each other. You don't have to interlace your hands, but feel for squeezing your shoulder blades. Tuck your chin just a little bit. Reach the crown of your head up at a 45-degree angle so that like you could touch the front top corner of a room. And lift your hands a little bit higher. Bend your elbows. Interlace your fingers behind your low back and punch them towards the back wall. Feel for an opening all across your collarbones. Take an inhale, breathe into that space. Exhale, release your grip, bring your hands down and forward, extended power lunge. Reach towards the front of the room, just like Warrior One, except you're at a 45-degree angle. Exhale, press out all of your air. Inhale, rise up, Warrior One. Exhale, open up your arms, open up your hips, Warrior Two. Inhale, reach wide. Exhale, side angle. Bring your right hand down the inside of your right foot. Reach your left hand up overhead. If the floor feels a little far or like you have to round over to get your right hand down, you can also place your right elbow on top of your right thigh bone for a little bit more support. Take one more inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, half bind, bend your left elbow, reach it around your low back. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to try for the full bind, it might be a little bit more accessible than the twist we were in before. Wherever you are, take an inhale to open up towards the side. Exhale, unravel your hands, return to your side angle. Inhale, rise back up to Warrior Two. This time straighten into your front knee. Inhale, reach your shoulders forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Bring your right hand down to your right shin or even the ground if that feels accessible. Reach your left hand up overhead. Feel for rolling your left hip back and your right hip more underneath you. Take one more inhale, reach up tall here. Exhale, bring both hands down to frame your right foot. Step your left foot forward about 6 to 8 inches, maybe even a little bit more, and turn all 10 toes towards the front. Let your upper body hang over your front knee. You can take a slight micro bend in your knee for pyramid pose. Take an inhale to glance forward, mini half lift. Exhale, come back down, step both feet back and travel through your flow. Inhale, reach your left leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Swivel your right heel down to the mat. Head up onto your fingertips, square your hips off towards the front. It can be helpful to walk your left foot a little more to the left, give your hips a little more space. Inhale, power lunge, hands by your sides. Squeeze your pinkies towards each other, squeeze your shoulders towards one another. Tuck your chin just a little bit, lengthen your neck. And lift your hands a little bit higher, bend your elbows, interlace your fingers behind your low back, and punch towards the back wall. Inhale, breathe into that space behind your collarbones. Feel for a stretch there. Exhale, bring your hands down and forward, extended power lunge. Won't be here for very long. Feel for creating one straight line all the way from the outer edge of your right foot through your fingertips. Exhale, press out all your air. Inhale, rise up, Warrior One. Exhale, Warrior Two. Take an inhale to reach wide. Exhale, side angle. Bring your left hand down, right hand up. Feel for rolling your right hip back, right shoulder back so that it stacks over your left. And your gaze can come to your right hand or down to your left to take some pressure off of your neck. Take another inhale, reach tall. Exhale, the bind feels accessible to you, you can take that. Whether the half bind or even the full bind, just because you did it on one side doesn't mean you have to do it on the other. Take one more inhale to twist. Exhale, unravel your hands, return to side angle. Inhale, use your core, rise back up to warrior two. Straight into your left leg. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Bring left hand down, right hand up. Gaze can come to your right hand. This pose is more about getting really flat or like you're being pressed between two panes of glass. So see if you can get your shoulders and hips to stay in one plane. Take one more inhale, reach up out of your left shoulder. Exhale, bring both hands down to frame your left foot. Step your right foot forward 6, 8, 10 inches, maybe even a little more, and let your upper body hang over your front knee for pyramid pose. Inhale, gaze forward, mini half lift. Exhale, come back down, step your left foot back, take your flow. Exhale all of your air. Inhale, balloon your lungs. Exhale, HA. Soften your knees, take a trip up to the front of your mat. Forward fold. This time, heel toe your feet together so that your toes, knees, thighs are all zipped up into one small base underneath you. Inhale for your half lift, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Thunderbolt. Sit your hips down and back, arms up, palms press. This is kind of a variation on chair pose. If it feels like your shoulders are a little tight, you don't have much room to press your palms together, you can lower your hands a little bit more in front of you, and really press into the outer edges of your palms to fire up your triceps. You can also interlace your thumbs around each other to keep your hands, or help keep your hands together. Take one more inhale, sit a little lower. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, Thunderbolt. Sit your hips down and back, reach your arms up. Maybe sit a little bit lower than you did the last time. This time, draw your hands down to heart center. Send your elbows out wide. Inhale to roll your shoulders down your back. Exhale, hinge forward, twist to the right. Hooking your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. And press your palms really strongly into each other. See if you can get the center of your chest or your sternum up towards your thumbs. Notice if your left knee wanted to come forward, you can draw your left hip back in space. Good adjustment there. If you want to take a flyaway, bring your left hand down, right hand up. If you want to try for a bind, it is totally available to you, only if it feels accessible and like you can keep breathing. Wherever you are, bring your hands back together. Inhale to twist. Exhale, return to center. Stay low, stay strong. Strong moment. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hinge forward, twist to the other side. Draw your right knee back or draw your right hip back. And really press into your palms. If it feels like this twist is a little too much, you can also just place your right hand on the outside of your left knee, whatever feels more accessible. Take one, or if you want to take the flyaway or bind, that is totally yours to take. Wherever you are, inhale to twist, exhale, press your palms together, return to center, inhale, roll your shoulders back, exhale, release, let that go, forward fold. Inhale, half lift to realign your spine after all that twisting. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop your feet back, travel through your flow. We have one last little bit of work. Inhale, lift your right leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Walk your right foot a couple inches to the right. Keep your back heel lifted. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Just like warrior one, except your back heel is lifted, it might be a little bit of a balance challenge. So if it feels a little bit wobbly, embrace that, go along with it. If you fall, that's totally okay. Take an inhale, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, open arm twist, bring your left hand forward, right hand back. Open up towards the right side. You can bring your gaze to your back hand if that allows you to keep your balance. Wherever you are, inhale to twist. Exhale, return to center, arms up overhead. Inhale, reach tall, maybe reach back. Exhale, plant both hands, step your right foot back, take your flow. Inhale, set your left leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Keep your right heel lifted, walk your left foot a couple inches to the left. Inhale, crescent lunge, second side. Might feel a little bit different on this side. Notice where all your points of contact are with the ground. You have less surface area on your feet touching the earth. So yeah, let it be a little bit wobbly. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Wherever you are, feel free lifting your right thigh bone up towards the ceiling. Take one more inhale, lift out of your waist. Exhale, right hand forward, left hand back. Open arm twist towards the left side. If your balance is with you, you can bring your gaze to your back hand or even try closing your eyes. Keep that same strength in your right leg. We're almost done. Inhale to twist. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, arms up, maybe take a slight back bend. Exhale, plant your hands down, step your left foot back, travel through your flow. If it's available, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, deep, deep breath. Exhale, H-A. Inhale, reach your right leg tall. Bend your right knee, roll your right hip open. As you exhale, bring your right knee forward for half pigeon. Bring it just behind your right wrist, maybe even a little bit wider. Send your left leg long behind you. Take a moment to sit up tall, let your hips settle down into the ground. And honoring your body's natural rate of release, slowly start to spill forward, bringing your forehead down to the mat or to a pillow made out of your hands or a piece of clothing nearby, or if you have an actual pillow, you can use that. You might notice a sort of a really deep stretch in your right outer hip. That's totally normal. You might even notice a little bit of discomfort. But if you notice any sharp shooting pain in either knee, you can flip over onto your back and do kind of a figure four, drawing your right heel towards your face. Wherever you are, whatever version of pigeon pose you want to take, this is a great opportunity to get back in touch with your breath. There's no movement that has to be done here. There's no alignment or anything like that. All you have to do is breathe. If you notice any thoughts or concerns or anxieties coming into your mind, that's totally normal. You can just breathe your way through it. Just kind of notice them and then let them fall away. Wherever you are in your breath, exhale, press out all of your air. Inhale, breathe into your right hip. Exhale, H-A. Take another deep, full breath or two. As you're ready, you can slowly start to make your way out of pigeon, traveling through a flow, or just going straight back to down dog. We're going to left side pigeon next. So however you want to get there, you can take the same kind of slow, methodical movement that you did on the right, pausing anywhere you want to. And then don't forget to sit up really tall, let your upper body just kind of sink into the mat. As you're ready, you can slowly spill forward, bring your forehead to rest wherever it was before. Maybe try on something different. We were just moving a whole lot, breathing a whole lot for the better part of an hour. So it can feel a little bit different, a little bit weird to get to a place of stillness, whether that's physically or mentally. If you notice your mind starting to wander or time travel, thinking about the future or the past, what you have to do today, tomorrow, next week, next month, do your best to keep your mind in the present. Just focus on your breath. Once again, begin to press out all of your air. Inhale, breathe into your left hip. Maybe feel for a stretch there. Press your lips together. Exhale, HM. Slowly over the course of your next 2 or 3 breaths, begin to make your way out of Pigeon on this side. Option 2, travel through one final flow of class. Or just going straight to down dog. Whatever option you choose, keep your breath with you. Once you reach down dog, you can take the same kind of free, expressive movement you did at the start of class. Maybe shift things around, notice if anything feels different. Slowly find some stillness and shift your weight forward into a high plank or top of a push-up. You can also bring your knees down if that feels good. Take an inhale, press your mat away. Exhale to slowly lower all the way down to your mat for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release all the way down. Send your toes long behind you. Send your arms long in front of you. Bring your palms to face each other, thumbs up. Bring your chin to the center of your mat. You can exhale and press your hips down into the mat. Use that as an anchor point. And inhale to lift your arms, lift your legs, super yogi. It might be easier to lift your arms or your legs, whatever feels more accessible. But use the long muscles of your back to keep your hands and feet off the ground. Take one more inhale, lift one more rib off the mat. Exhale, come back down, bring your left ear to the ground. Bring your hands by your sides, palms face up. Relax all the way down to the ground. You don't have to move any muscles. But if you like, you can also send your breath to your low belly to kind of release your low back. Keep your hands where they are. Just flip them so your palms are face down. Bring your chin back to center. Zip up your legs behind you if they came apart. Exhale, press your hips down into the ground. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your legs, locust pose. This is a slight variation. You might notice this feels a little more accessible or like you can lift your upper body a little bit more. So maybe try to lift your legs a little bit higher off the ground. Feel for squeezing your pinkies towards one another. If you want to take a bind, bring your hands or interlace your fingers behind your low back, if that feels good. Take one more inhale, breathe into your collarbones wherever you are. Exhale, release all the way back down. Bring your right ear to the mat. Bring your gaze off to the left. Let your heels still open. You have a couple options here if you like. You can bend your knees and kind of windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Or bend your elbows out towards the sides to help release your shoulders. Slowly bring your chin back to center. Bring your hands up underneath your shoulders, and slowly press yourself up to standing on your knees. We just did a version of a back bend, or a couple versions of the back bend. We're going to come into a slightly deeper back bend now, set up for camel pose. Press the tops of your feet into the ground. Bring your hands to your low back. With your fingers pointed down, you can also place 2 fists on your low back if your shoulders feel a little bit tight. Start by rolling one shoulder back and then the other. Inhale to bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Press your hips forward just a little bit. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you feel like you can go a little bit deeper, keep pressing your hips forward. Start to trace a line along the ceiling or the sky if you're doing this outdoors, and start to float your head back as you lift up through your chest. If that feels far enough, stay there. If you want to take it even further, bring your hands to the tops of your ankles. Wherever you are, inhale, lift up through your chest. Exhale to slowly come up out of it. And then sit your hips back onto your heels, or find whatever comfortable seated position works for you. Take a moment to close your eyes and express some gratitude to yourself for just making it to your mat, making time in your day to focus on nothing but yourself. Focus on bringing your awareness back to your breathing, which is something you can control, but it seems like a lot of things are out of control lately. Slowly float your eyes open, sit your hips to one side, and bring your feet out long in front of you. Flex your toes towards your face. Walk your hips back a few times to let your sit bones really ground down into, well, the ground. Draw your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach your both hands up overhead. Exhale, keeping the same length in your spine. Start to hinge at your hips. Reach towards your toes. Reach the crown of your head long with every inhale. With every exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the space you've just created. Take one more inhale to reach your head long. Exhale to slowly come up out of this pose, bringing your head and neck up last. Maybe roll your head around a few times once you get there. As you're ready, scoot your hips to the center of your mat. Bring your feet flat to the ground. Bring your hands or your palms to face one another. Start to rock your weight back into your sacrum. Start to lift your shins up off the ground for a boat pose. We're just going to hold it here today for 3, 2, 1. Inhale your knees towards your chest. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the ground. On your own pace, at your own pace. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Maybe curl yourself up into a really tight ball. You can rock side to side, maybe front and back. As you're ready, send your knees out wide. Bring the soles of your feet together for a supine butterfly. You can press your forearms into your shins. Send your knees out. Feel for a stretch all along your inner thighs. And as you're ready, you can stack your ankles over your knees. Come into a happy baby, straightening one leg and then the other. Maybe taking some more expressive breaths. That's fluttering your lips, yeah, or even a lion's breath. Just a great way to release heat, tension, leave that all on the ground. Yeah, open your mouth, stick your tongue out, open your eyes wide. If you are ready for a final Shavasana, it is totally ready for you. If you'd like to close off your practice with any final poses that you know how to do safely, go ahead and do those. Otherwise, come to fully lying down on your back. Complete stillness. You can tuck your chin just a little bit, let your toes spill open. Bring your hands to rest somewhere that feels comfortable on your body or at your sides. Thank you for coming to practice here or taking our online class. In these tough times, it's great that we're able to do this. Since all of our classes are online, our donations are online as well. We take Venmo now at YTTPAZ. It's a great way to let us keep doing these, let us keep sharing this yoga with the community. We always end class with a quote and a ringing of the singing bowl. Once the bowl quiets, the class is over, but you can remain in Shavasana however long you like. Today's quote is from Albert Einstein. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. One last time, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, take a deep breath, the deepest breath you've taken all day. Exhale, HA.